Thank you, Mr. Chair. Today we are considering a common sense and forward-looking proposal, H.R. 3157, the State Energy Accountability Act, which ensures that our pursuit of clean energy does not come at the expense of reliability, affordability, and national security. The State Energy Accountability Act would amend the Public Utility Regulatory Policies Act, PURPA, to add a new standard requiring state utility regulators to conduct and publish evaluations of the impact of their intermittent energy mandates. These evaluations must assess long-term resource adequacy, the ability to meet demand during extreme weather or peak load, ratepayer impacts, and whether retiring base load plants can realistically be replaced by resources that the state is requiring. And critically, these evaluations must be made public. Transparency isn't just good policy. It's the least that we owe the working families and small businesses who are footing the bill when the lights go out or utility bills go up. Let's be clear, this bill doesn't block or ban renewable energy. What it does is simple and necessary. It requires transparency and accountability from states that mandate the use of intermittent energy sources. If a state is going to require a certain percentage of electricity come from solar, wind, or other intermittent sources, then the state's regulators ought to be able to show the American taxpayers how those mandates will affect grid reliability, utility rates, and emergency preparedness over the next decade. Too often, policies are adopted in pursuit of unrealistic climate goals without fully evaluating their downstream effects, especially on the bulk power system. In my home state of New York, the Climate Leadership and Community Protection Act, or CLCPA, is a case study in what happens when ambition and ideology ignores practical reality. It sets some of the most aggressive climate goals in the country. 100% zero-emission electricity by 2024, a net zero emissions economy-wide by 2050. But here's the problem. There's no clear or credible roadmap to get there without compromising grid reliability and affordability for millions of New Yorkers. And consequences are already showing. Report after report from New York State's ISO make it clear. The phase-out of reliable baseload resources like natural gas is outstripping the build-out of any viable replacement. And on its current trajectory, New York is heading straight for a serious capacity shortfall, especially during winter peaks or extreme weather. And this is a life-threatening situation. And then there's a cost. New York's own Climate Action Council has acknowledged the implementation could run into the hundreds of billions of dollars. This is an economic burden that is already landing on the backs of working families, small businesses, and seniors in our state, while reliable baseload resources like natural gas are being phased out faster than any viable replacement can come online. Now, unfortunately, New York is not alone in this crisis. California, with its own aggressive clean energy mandates, has faced recurring blackouts, soaring rates, and has even had to fire up natural gas peaker plants during heat waves just to keep the lights on. Americans deserve better. Americans deserve more transparency. They deserve to know how these policies affect their energy bills, the reliability of their power, and the resilience of the grid. And that's why the State Energy Accountability Act is so important. It doesn't ban renewable energy. It simply says, if you're going to mandate it, you owe constituents and taxpayers the truth. So I urge my colleagues to stand up for reliability and affordability and support this measure today. And with that, I yield back, Mr. Chairman.